status. Demos, we have Sergio for a demo today. Who else? Who's there? Sultan, demo? It's been like 2 months without a demo.
Hi guys. Yes, indeed, I would have a demo.
Oh, and Benedek is here. Will you record, Benedek?
Yes, I'm recording.
Crazy.
Did you miss me?
I still have 4 recordings to
Oh
give
yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
People complained last week. Hey, where are the videos on YouTube? And I said, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Check with me too. So then, okay, let's start status. See what happened last week. So the main information from last week is that there is a branch named 192 to freeze the release, where I just take what is a ship blocker, and there is one ship blocker still. We'll see. But there's been some progress on many other things. So 7 days ago, pull requests, we saw these ones, I think. Yeah, null checks. Oh, these were from, let me see. Oh, these were from the triage meeting. Manage lab permissions, we talked about it last week. This we talked about. WebPI we talked about, and I merged it. So merging 19x to dev. Okay, then preventing concurrency when monitoring extensions. So I've added just, nothing important here, just making this code thread safe. And this one is kind of important. So what is the issue with this one? What was the issue? So I know what I did. So the idea is, you remember the new option when you do the cache manager, you can say true, like I did here, just to prevent all these lambdas to be called in parallel at the same time, and then issue too many requests when not needed or create some inconsistent state. But this doesn't work actually because of subtokens. So when you do some code like this, when you call get and you execute a lambda, if this lambda has other subcalls to the cache manager, then this item will also depend on the sub items to be invalidated. So if you invalidate a sub item, a dependent item, this one will also be invalidated. So this is bubbling the monitors to the main one, which is very nice. But with the code which was previously using a lazy initializer, this is breaking the bubbling. And how we found it is, who did find it? Is it you, Sergio, who found it? Yes, this is Sergio, I think, who reported an issue mentioning that when you update the placement file, it will not reload the placement. This is because the placement files are loaded in a sub call to these monitor extensions. So this was showing up the issue. So now the solution is to actually lock the initialization of the lambda when you put the boolean to true here. So it's a full lock. It's not optimum, but it works fine. It actually fixes things, and the performance is not impacted in this case. So that's okay. So this is a major change internally, but transparent for everyone. Then saving settings for reset markdown parse settings. Yes, so if you edited the markdown if you go to the body part and you say I want markdown, and then you go to the settings and you save, it will override the value. So you will lose that. I was actually implementing the wrong event. So now it's fixed. Merge again 198 into branch, bumping version number to prepare for the 192, so updating all the assembly info. CSS classes, import, export. Okay, from Zipke. Then I merge the web API changes, which is just for Azure and Web Matrix. Fixing column element default size. This was reported from Matthew. The issue was that if you create a new layout-based content item, like a page, with a default layout, the default layout will create columns in the wrong state, and you could not split them because their size will be 0. It has to be 12 by default. If you don't specify explicitly a width on the column, it has to be 12. Removing layout dependencies on DynMC as requested by Gustavo. So because we do not have a dependency on DynMC anymore, I removed the explicit dependency and also the require here. This was missing from the previous commit. This one, fixing default layout support, yeah, this one was interesting because if you currently go to the layout part setting of your content type, like page, you will see a default layout, a big JSON document expressing the default layout for the page. But if you create a page, you will see that there is no default layout actually used. And the misleading part here is that even you see some default layout in the settings, it shows up because there is actually no default layout. The code was to render the potential default layout when you have no default layout. So if you never save the setting, you will never have a default layout. So this was a UI issue actually. So now the idea is, if there is no default layout, nothing is shown. It's empty. Up to you to define something. And if there is no default layout, when you create a new page, it will use a default layout, which is defined in the service. So it's just changing how things are done, but now this works. Excluding long-running tasks from test step. So yes, I found an exclude category on the mess build so that the CI doesn't run the long tests, or the build script also. Update element session state. So this is because the layout module is using this object to store some value in the session. And Gert is using a farm, so the sessions have to be stored in some shared state like the database, and this item was not serializable. I talked with Sipke on the issue about not using the sessions at all. It's doable, but so far this one is fixing the issue. So it's in 1.2 also, it was blocking. This is the dev branch. Updated Azure host. This is fixing the namespace. Sipke found it based on the report. Loading terms. This is a merge pull request I merged from Jeff about improving the taxonomy autocomplete field. And the next one from him will be the tokens improvements. We'll talk about it on Thursday. It's almost ready. Just asking questions. And this one I'm putting on 192. There's a big issue on 192 right now. This is that the Azure Cloud solution doesn't work anymore. It needed the Azure SDK to be updated to work with 2015, Visual Studio 2015.
You could probably use this occasion to less gracefully deprecate the Azure solution. So it's not working and we won't fix it.
Well, it's not working anymore. It was working on 191, so we are breaking it here. And I'm trying to understand why. It should work. People are still using that. But so deprecating, I don't think we should deprecate it right now, but ask people to move away from that and use Azure websites. So the dev who reported the issue is looking into moving also to Azure websites, but that doesn't solve the issue. So I'm trying to solve the issue, updating all the SDK and making it work. So I tried to deploy them as an exception. I should have tried locally first, but I haven't installed IIS already, so I need to. So this is what is blocking 192, to be able to work on cloud services. At least, even if the local debug doesn't work, at least that it works online, because we could also otherwise break customers. So lots of fixes to change, versions to change, and binding redirects also to change. Okay, so that's it for status. Waiting to have something shippable for 192. Otherwise, all the tests pass. Some users have already deployed it. I got some feedback, so that's good. Then status. Blocked on cloud services. Fortunately, very soon we'll have 192. Hopefully, unfortunately, hopefully. Questions? No questions. Good. Sergio? I will make you a presenter. 1 second. Can you hear us, Sergio? No?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Now, yes. Okay, please share. We'll wait for Benedict this week.
Do you see my screen?
No, not yet. It's not even loading.
I have to press on presenter, no? Nothing else.
Your presenter.
And to share, I have to do something else?
You need to click the present button.
Yeah, I did it, and it's pressed. Oh. You can see nothing. Okay. Okay. The allowed speed. I don't have any other option because it is disabled, this button, so I cannot.
Oh, try to close your camera.
Okay. Doesn't allow me.
Just 2 buttons away from the present. If you stop sharing your camera, maybe you will be able to share your screen. Well, apparently you muted yourself.
Yeah, I muted now. But camera, I cannot stop it. Well, I'm going to prove.
Okay, try to restart maybe.
Okay.
Okay, see you. Zoltan, do you start?
I can. Let me share my screen now. And if I won't get a yellow screen of test, sorry, blue screen of test, yeah, yellow screen of test is something else, then you will be able to see my screen. Let me know when you can actually see it. I will demo a very little module. Well, not so little, but still a small module that adds some very specific functionality regarding notifications. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Benedict?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. Because the module is smart notifications, or is it called smart notifications? And the notifications themselves are pretty dumb, but you can use them in a smart way. Because by default, as we all know, the notifications, and I'm talking about iNotifier notifications, in Orchard are pretty simple. You create notifications, they will be displayed once to the user, and that's it. Now, Smart Notification adds 3 more notification types that are a bit more complicated. The first one is closable, so you can close the notifications with a little X. And there is a fading type that will just fade out, and there are persistent notifications that will be continuously shown to the user as long as they don't just close them. We actually have 2 repositories for this. There is the GitHub repository for that, and there is a Bitbucket repository that's Mercurial. By the way, these 2 repositories are direct clones of each other, and they are automatically mirrored with a service called GitHG Mirror that I demoed a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. Can't really remember. But let's see the feature in action. The module is called, again, Smart Notifications. So once you enable it, its features will be available. And there are basically 2 parts of this module that you can use. First, under the site settings, we have some settings that you can use to make all the existing notifications a bit different, a bit better probably. And there are extension methods in the code that you can use to write such smart notifications. I will show that next. But first, let's see what's available here. Let's make all notifications closable, and let's see what closable means. Once I save it, luckily we also have a notification here, so we can see it in action right away. Just this close button appears here. That's the closable notification. I can hit this button and it will be closed. So not a huge surprise. Now we also have the fading variation of notifications, which will mean that notifications just will fade out automatically, and we can specify how many milliseconds this fade out will be. Now the 5 seconds, so 5,000 milliseconds is the default. So now once 5 seconds passes, we will see that the notification gracefully fades away or fades out, and this is what happens. And lastly, we have the sticky type. By the way, as you can see, these can be combined as you wish. So notifications could be just fading, or as I showed you, they can be closable and fading. Well, probably fading and sticky notifications is not something that's sane to do. So let's just leave it like closable and sticky. By the way, we need closable for sticky notifications, because otherwise the notifications would be just there forever. So if we hit save here, the notifications will be still closable, because this is implied. Now, what happens? Here we have the notification again. It looks closable, but it's also persisted. So if I refresh the page, it still appears here. It won't go away. If I hit save again, we get a second sticky notification that just remains here. And it remains here as long as we don't close it with this button again. And now it's removed. Now, of course, this with sticky notifications is not probably that you want to have, but this is another option. Maybe fading and closable notifications are which you would like to have most of the time for all the notifications. Because, as I mentioned, you can also write notifications from code. Well, of course. In the Smart Notifications module, we have some extension methods that extend standard iNotifier. So you will be able to continue to use the iNotifier service to write smart notifications as well. Because by just using the closable or the fading or the sticky overload or extension method, you can specifically create such notifications from your module. And that's quite cool, because then of course you can decide which notification is good to be sticky like an important warning that you want to really be imprinted into the user's brain, or just condition them to hit the close button quickly. But anyway, you can create such notifications from code, so you can decide which notification will be using which time. So that's all, folks. Any questions or remarks on this?
Yeah, we all agree that closing/fading should be a theming decision, and you should use one state or two states which are. Sorry, when I said we all agree. Sorry, I said I think. So there should be maybe. So I was using the term transient/persistent, and today they are transient by default in iNotifier, but persistent meaning yes, you need to explicitly close them or they will be sticky all the time. And then when you do a transient, your theme will define if it's fading or you need a checkbox to close it.
Yeah, of course. You can also define this from the theme. So it's up to you, but there is this message shape override that handles all this. So, but you can write your own, of course.
Yeah, but the idea being not to expose the fact that you can have closable or fadeable, because then there is a third state. I don't know, changing colors, or flashing, blinking. Why not then? And usually that has to be consistent in the website. You don't have a fading notification, another one that is not fading. I don't know. I think. I don't know what marquee is, but yeah.
What is what?
I know the chat. Bertrand was suggesting marquee.
Oh,
I don't know what
something is going on in the chat.
Yes. So yeah.
Marquee. Yeah. That's,
so I like the idea.
correct,
This is what we have on the OS. This is what we have on the phones. The sticky notifications. And I like also the fact that your theme could say, you can close them. But I will say this is what we have today. Anyone could change a notification to say to add a check a cross to close notification. What we don't have is the persistent one, the one that after more clicks, they stay there until you close them explicitly. So I think, yeah, this is nice.
Well, you can use the infrastructure of this module to save sticky notifications, persistent ones, and you can use the site settings if you wish. If not, you can still do this from a theme. Yeah.
Cool.
So thanks for watching.
Someone else want to say something? Carlos wants to say something. He's watching TV. No, he's just moving. Okay, muting him. No other comments? Guys on the chat. Nick, George.
We'll probably add a blinking marquee because it was wished by multiple guys here.
Yeah. No, but you see what I mean?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the type of animation or transition you want shouldn't depend on the warning level of the message. Like, maybe errors and warnings would behave differently. I don't know, maybe.
This would be a pretty interesting idea as well. We haven't talked about that. But yeah, it will be interesting. Well, right now it's up to the theme to override the shape and do such configuration, some customization. But it's an interesting idea.
How do we customize it today? Do we have shapes? Yeah, we have shapes for warning and information, I think. yeah, message dash information message dash warning. Okay, so we could do that this way. And but yeah, the other, I will see another boolean which is persistent or something like that. So we could also customize how it's displayed, but it's also some behavior to change in the front, in the back end, or everywhere. So it should not use temp data, but something more like a session or local storage. Store it. Good. Any other demo?
Can we make a retry?
Oh yes, Sergio, I forgot about you. Sorry, I'm putting you back as presenter. Go.
Let's see. I have this option disabled. I have the icon for presenting disabled.
That's weird.
Hmm.
You don't have the video now?
No. Well, look, I will show you in Alicante in the harvest.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, by the way, oh yeah, so this is the last meeting before harvest. So there won't be any harvest. Sorry. There won't be any meeting next week. I'm like, oh, fuck. So no meeting next week. What else about harvest? Yeah, while I'm at harvest. Let me check. Share my screen because Sergio can't. I can. So harvest status. Oh, there is something new for harvest. So two new things for harvest. First, the sad thing. Daniel can't make it to harvest because of a customer and deadlines. So it means his session, he won't be able to do it. And the session was team development, which is kind of sad. Everyone wanted to see that, I'm sure. Team development. And so we won't see this session and we won't be able to see Daniel again. At the same time, I was about to give my slot to Zoltan, so then Zoltan, sorry, Lombik, because there is no such thing as a Zoltan, it's Lombik. Lombik will take his spot and I will keep my spot, so this is Lombik will take over. I know what it is, but I don't have an official title, so it's not on the agenda yet. It won't be about notifications, but it could, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's used.
Probably it will be included.
See? Voilà. You can do that. What else? Harvest. If you have any question, go on. Everything has been paid. Beautiful. Well, I think I send my credit card for everything. Sergio will tell me when it's paid. I don't know. I will receive it. But everything is paid. The food is paid. Hotel is paid. Video recording is organized, and the agenda also. So they will record all the sessions as expected, and we'll also have a video about the event in general, like we did every year for the last 2 years. What else? Yeah, that should be great. I didn't check the weather. What's the weather next week? What's the current weather, Sergio, in Alicante?
Lower temperatures. This week start to begin to rain, bad weather, and for the next week the same. But what is really bad, maybe for you is okay, but here
it's warmer than in Bellevue at least.
It's 25 degrees Celsius. It's okay.
Today that's what we have here, but it's a record. So yeah, that should be okay as long as it doesn't rain. I'm good with that. Please arrange that, okay? Any questions about harvest? Who's coming on Saturday? I will be there Friday night.
I'll be there Saturday morning.
Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll fly in.
Right.
About 11.
I get in Sunday evening. Land
Sunday
at 4:30.
I'm
Yeah,
flying over with my wife, so I'd rather not meet you.
uh, uh, just for her. She will be happy. So what we do usually on the Sunday evening, we gather and have a drink, and usually by chance, oh, let's go all in the city center, and we meet everyone, and everyone recognizes everyone. So Sergio told me that there was a bar in front of the hotel, and there will be people drinking beers and water in front of the hotel. Apparently, there's a bar there. I'd like Piotr to organize a pool party. Don't worry, I'm sure Piotr will organize lots of parties. That's the only reason he comes to Harvest. Who is not staying at the conference hotel? Just because I assume everyone is staying at the conference hotel.
It's
Antoine.
Sipka. Sipka, are you staying at Hotel 69 or whatever it's called that we stayed at last time?
Hotel 69.
No, Melia Hotel.
Melia Hotel? Okay, good.
Yeah.
As long as we haven't got to get a taxi to get there, that's alright.
Okay, cool.
So you're staying, Nick?
Same hotel, dude.
Yeah, I think most of us will say, but at the same time, everything is very close to the main conference hotel. I'm sure you can walk less than 10 minutes to reach all the hotels that Sergio shared on the site. So that will be very close. Alicante is not that big. The city center is very not big. I mean, you can do everything by walking. Yeah, Sergio, you will confirm.
I think it's very near, no problem.
Yeah, that's good. And there's a beach, so take some how do you say, swimsuits and towels, because there's a beach. Well, this is the only thing that there is in Alicante, the beach. Okay, good. Questions about Harvest, about the organization, the schedule? So Monday 9, a reminder, there is no breakfast per se at the conference. Because most of us will stay at the hotel and we have breakfast with the rooms, but there is a snack at around 11 because the lunch in Spain is late, so this will be like waiting for the lunch, but it's pretty consequent snack for everyone. Then the lunch break is around, when did I say? Can't remember. Crap. I'm not even sure it's written on the.
I think it's 1 o'clock.
Okay, lunch break from 1 to 3. Okay, you can also do a nap if you want, 2 hours. So that the snack break is at 10:40. Okay, so right after the breakfast actually. 2 sessions after the breakfast, and that should be good. We stop at 5 every day, which gives you more time. The dinner, there is a dinner on Monday. It will be at 7:30 because everything is late in Spain. Piotr will love it, and I think that's all to say. Yeah. Don't hesitate to ask questions you have. 7:30 is only, yes, for well, it's not only for everyone. Piotr, are you signed up? Is Piotr here today? No, Piotr is not at the meeting right now. Yes, Piotr will join. He's registered. No questions? Everything's good?
How many have we got in total going, do you know?
So far, 61.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's average, I would say.
Yeah.
I think the lowest we had was 70. 61. But in the end, for Alicante, it's good because, yeah, as I said last week or 2 weeks before, the there is not that many people from the local community coming. That's the only difference. We have the same guys showing up. We have Gert from South Africa. Again, he will do all the harvests wherever they are. That's cool. He's working, and that's good to work at a travel company.
Is the guy from Hello Computer coming?
No, no, he's not coming.
Shame.
I pinged him, he didn't answer. I know he's got some project on Orchard, but he's not coming. Yeah. But we have Gustavo to take his spot as a case study. We'll see.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so yeah, UK. But next time in Europe will definitely be in the UK, because most of the devs are from the UK or are coming from UK to Spain. It's crazy. I think the most represented country in this harvest will be UK. Not even Spain. Which is to say. So next time we'll do it in UK, there will be lots of people coming from local. Yeah. And that's sad because UK finished second after Amsterdam, after Alicante. Just need people to do that. It's also more expensive. The difference between Spain and UK will be the cost. Here we are very well in terms of budget for Spain compared to Amsterdam, for instance. So that's good. Okay, let's go back to work. Any topic today to talk about?
Yeah, Chris Payne, he suggested something interesting yesterday or the day before yesterday regarding pull requests. He asked, why don't we enable private builds on TeamCity for submitted pull requests so we could see whether they build and whether tests pass before pulling it in?
Yes, can do. Can do. But let me explain the but. So can do. Let me open it. But there is a drawback. So I'm doing it for my Gint repository, and you said pull request, and every time you do pull request, it will also do that. The only thing with Orchard is that we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 configurations, which are for the dev branch and for the 19x branch. For the dev branch, we have the continuous build, which is run after every commit and runs the standard unit test, and it takes apparently 25 minutes, which is kind of fast. And we have a nightly build, which will run the spec flow test, and in this case, it's 2 hours. Okay. We have the same thing for 19x, 25 minutes and 2 hours. The code better guys, they have complained about us that we are taking too much resources, and this is why we moved the spec flow test to only once a day at night. Okay, and we also have the integration, which is whenever we ship a new branch, we run on every commit everything. Okay, but this one is not common. It's just when we ship. So right now they are not complaining. If we did that for the pull request, every time there is a commit on dev or on master on everywhere, it will rerun all the tests for every pull request. Today we have 20 pull requests. Let's average it to 15. So every time there is a commit, there will be 15 pull requests to start again on the unit test.
Sebastian?
Yes, Chris.
That's not necessarily true. It depends how you configure it.
Okay, so
you can configure it to only run the branch that's been proposed to be merged, and that means that if there's changes to dev, it won't run against every open pull request.
So you mean if I commit on 19x, it will just run the 19x pull request?
If you have 5 pull requests open and they reach on their own branch, you can configure it so that it will only run the private build if there's a change to the branch that is proposed to
Okay.
be merged in, as
So it's
opposed
half-
to if you
okay,
change
so-
dev, run them all.
Okay, so in our case, it's half of the pull request, we'll say, because half of them are for one-line-x, half of them are for dev. So, okay. So we could run only the unit test, but I think in this case, we would want to see that it's not breaking a spec flow test, because the unit tests usually, they're not covering that much. A spec flow test is covering much more than a unit test. Well, I would say half and half. They cover different things. But we can try. That's not hard to configure. I'm just afraid that these guys will complain about us because it's a free shared web server across like a few, well, more than 100 projects. So yeah, we could try. Or maybe if we want to trigger it with a keyword, is it possible? Like if we had a comment saying test, can it trigger something on TeamCity on demand before we merge? I don't know. Or only the ones, I don't know, in dev or in one-line-x? That would not make sense.
I'm actually quite surprised it takes 25 minutes to build and run the tests.
Oh, I think it's better than before. Or maybe this is because of the, no, maybe it's just because of the long-running test. And let me check.
How long do the tests run for? Can you just click into that previous build?
Yeah, let's see. How do we see all the times here?
If you click tests, yeah.
Maybe this is just the duration, 3 minutes.
14 minutes.
You see these ones? They're all the long-running tests from Daniel. So this is taking, well,
There's
this one is,
14 minutes in total.
oh, then there
But
is
that's
a build.
still
Yeah,
that's
there-
still 10 minutes to build. That seems extremely slow. Because we build our solution, which is built on top of Orchard, in about 2 minutes.
it's shared again. We don't know what the machine does. 3 minutes updating the sources, you see? This you don't have to do. Or maybe it's faster for you.
Is that configuration publicly available?
Yes, everything that we, so you can go to the website, it's public. You can't change it, but I'm sure you can see it. But the build is just, let me show you, it's very simple. And then just to show you what is on TeamCity and the rest is on Orchard repository. Because what it does, let's take this one, edit. General settings, so the steps, build steps. So this is a continuous build. So there is one step which is run ms build, Orchard proj, target build. Okay.
Just click into that.
There is nothing more to see.
Where's the command line?
There is no command line, it's an ms
Yeah.
build runner.
Okay,
So
if you specify, there's a switch you can pass to tell it to run on more threads.
by default, for threads. Let's see.
Yeah, Nick's got it /m.
And if you look at the build target, it's doing clean, compile, test, package, but I'm not sure package.
Show the compile step, Sebastian.
Package is stage, package stage, ms deploy and zip, which is just creating a ms deploy and a zip file for the artifacts. And the compile is just building all the modules. So very standard thing. But sure, it's faster on my machine.
Just to keep us happy, can you try it with /m in the command line parameters?
Where?
Near the bottom of your screen, down a bit. Down.
Here?
Yep. Yeah.
/m?
Yeah, and then just run a build, like save
Sure.
it, then run the build.
So this is 1.9x continuous build. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
You see, just updating is taking 3 minutes, which is kind of slow to
Thing is,
update
I think
nothing.
when it updates the sources, it doesn't actually count that in the time as well.
So maybe there is an option to say don't fetch everything, but just do a git update or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe
there
it's
is.
fetching everything.
There
Maybe.
is.
Let me check.
If you go to your VCS settings,
Version control settings.
clean build, untick that.
Let me read. You are faster to tell me to do things. I'm not here. I know. Clean build, clean all files, check out. This will, and this is for 19x, so this will apply to the both runs. No, it's too late. Let me stop it. No, I won't stop it because it's the next time that it will. It won't.
Well, it's not the next time; it's the time after because you've changed the VCS route, so
Yeah.
it will clean it. But then the time after that, it'll be faster.
So we'll run it twice. And what I could do also, it's because if I look at the source, the changes I did, maybe this was wrong. But where is this? Where did I change the build file? This one. So I changed the orchard.proj on which branch? Oh, only on 1992. Okay. So this thing also is important to remove all the date time test. It's just on 192. Is 192 faster? We can't say because it's running the spec for test. Integration. Yeah, we can't say. So once I merge 192 into 19x, we'll also get this improvement. So it will skip a bunch of them. Okay, we'll see. Do you have more optimizations to do? Maybe I can add you as a co-owner.
Yeah, just I can't see the configuration.
Let me see. Let me do that. How do I do that? Administration, Sebastian Ross. Projects. Ooh, look at all these projects. The world is running on CodeBetter server. Orchard. All the projects start with N, you see? N something, N operation, N spec, orchard. I don't know how to add someone. I don't know. Configure the roles in this project user accounts page. So you will need to create an account, I assume, and I will be able to add you. Okay, you just need to create an account. Probably.
Okay, I can send you that on. You don't have to do it now.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Good. We'll see how it goes, and I will add you. Just for you to break everything.
You know me too well.
I'll do a backup before. 6,000 users on this server. Crazy. Yeah, so yeah, we can try. If you can optimize it and we can minimize the number of executions. Yeah, why not? Maybe also run it at night only once a day, not when it's committed, because whatever the pull requests, we don't accept them in one day, or it's because they are very simple and there is no such validation to apply to. So it should be good. Member of the question, what is this North Korea trend? On TC instance, that is, no, we can't. It's expensive. We have to maintain it. No, we don't want to do that. CodeBetter is perfect for that. Other questions, topics? Complaints, improvements? I wanted to do at Harvest. I'm not sure we have the time for that, or we want to do that, or maybe it's not good to do that. A session or sort of panel where people will complain, say what they don't like about, maybe also what they like and what they don't like about Orchard, what is really pissing them off or whatever. Just to see what people think, and everyone agrees on something. No, that's bad. Let's not use Orchard because of that. Blah blah blah. Roast, yeah. Roast Orchard. Oh, Russell is saying something just because we say that. When everyone is drunk, let's do that. Get everyone drunk and roast Orchard. Okay, so no other topics? We can close earlier if you want. If no one has to say anything, ask something. Just keeping all your questions and feedback for Harvest.
For the Harvest template, I think we're gonna still have to use the NFLPA one.
Okay, that's fine. I told you I'm not.
Yeah.
Just then showing a new website that we found this week. Biking website, Spanish website. It was funny because Spanish website, bikes, very nice. Lots of things on this website, very fast. Good stuff. Apparently some French people made that, some from south of France where they speak Spanish too. Nice one. I discovered it.
Sebastian, did you want to review our slides before the conference?
Slides? Yeah, I would. Ilan will definitely do that. Check everything. But yes, you can send them to me.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, sessions will be recorded, videos, and also and also like we do every year.
One other thing is, did you look at my branch?
Nope, not yet. I was in a meeting yesterday afternoon, most of the afternoon. So, but I can talk to you after.
Okay, I got to talk to Bertrand first, so I'll talk to you after Bertrand.
Okay. Oh yes, you're good too. You two guys for the session because you're also part of the keynote.
Yeah.
Good. We'll sync up offline.
Okay.
Great then. Okay, no more questions. Let's end it. Okay, so thanks everyone. See you on Thursday or next week in Spain. Hasta luego.
Thanks. See you guys in Spain. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Right.